Today, today our topic is antigenicity and immunogenicity. Before going into the term, the antigenicity and immunogenicity, the, it is necessary to divide the difference between antigen and immunogen. The antigen is a substance that binds to the antibody or T cell receptor after evoking of the immune response. But whenever the primary immunologic response is needed, then the substance which evokes the immunogenic responses is called an immunogen. Antigen may be immunogenic or non-immunogenic, but the immunogen are always immunogenic. Basically, antigen can be chemically protein, nucleic acid, or lipid or polysaccharide. But the immunogen is specifically protein and polysaccharide in two or three cases, like large fatty acid, that is mycolic acid, present in the mycobacterium is immunogenic. For example, hapten binds with the antibodies, but it is not immunogenic. Whenever haptens is attached with the protein, and then it becomes immunogenic. Okay, so and then the difference between the immunogenicity and antigenicity. The ability to induce humoral and cellular immunity or cell mediated immunity response is called immunogenicity. And all the immunogens are antigen. For example, whenever an immunogen binds with the B cell or T cell, then it will produce effector B cell and memory B cell, effector T cell and memory T cell. The effector B cell produce antibody, and effector T cell produce some cytokines or chemokines, etc. Or it may activate another cell. So, the product of humoral and cellular immunity or cell mediated immunity can capable of bind with the antigen, but the immunogen is able to deliver the effector B cell which is capable of producing antibody, or effector T cells which can capable of producing interleukin or chemokine. Now, the difference between the antigenicity is that it will specifically combine with the secreted antibody or cell surface receptor of T cell. So, all the molecules which have the properties of immunogenicity also have the properties of antigenicity, but the all antigen are not immunogen. Now, to make a molecule immunogenic, there are certain characteristics feature. That characteristics feature include foreignness from the cell structure of the host, chemical composition, complexity, molecular size, dose of the immunogen, and genetic constitution of the host. Now, features regarding the foreignness. Whenever a animal is being injected with an immunogen, this immunogen may be small, short or small peptide structure, and a animal having large number of many peptides. If the peptides of the immunogen happen to be similar to the peptide of the animal cell, then the animal immune response will not develop. Instead, if it is a different thing. For example, if you isolate albumin protein from the serum of the rabbit and inject albumin back into the rabbit, then there will be no immune response. But if this albumin of the rabbit is being injected into the guinea pig or mice, then there will be a production of immunogenic response or evoking of the immune response. And this is because it is non-self. If that is why if the peptides of the animal is different from the peptides of the other, then automatically there will be an immune response. But if it is a similar, then it will not produce any immunologic response. The next one is the chemical composition and chemical complexity. The proteins are most potent immunogen. The next one is the polysaccharide. And the third one is the synthetic organic polymer, is the polyvinyl, like polyvinyl pyrrolidine. Lipid, that is mycolic acid of mycolic acid of Mycobacterium tuberculosis or Mycobacterium leprae, is also a good immunogenic. And it has been found that whenever any immunogenic molecule is made up of homopolymer or heteropolymer, the heteropolymer will evoke a better immunogenic response compared to homopolymer. On the other hand, certain amino acids, if aromatic amino acid is present, then it is more immunogenic than non-aromatic amino acid. For example, uh, a polypeptide with amino acid tyrosine means a aromatic amino acid are better immunogens than polypeptide without tyrosine. The molecular size, it has been found that a molecule having 1 lakh Dalton molecular weight are better immunogenic than uh, comparatively smaller size molecular weight. Though there are some, but it is due to molecular complexity or due to different amino acid or aromatic amino acid presence. Now, it is being found that the second one is the dose of the immunogen. The minimum quantity of immunogen required to induce an immune response in animals. And it also varies with the animal to animal and different weight to weight. And if you add a small amount of immunogen, then it will not able to induce immunogenic response. On the other hand, if you inject a large amount of immunogen, then there will be a mechanism where a condition is called tolerance, where unresponsiveness will be occur, means a high dose tolerance will occur. Now, genetic constitution of the host. The immune response of an animal to a particular substance also depends on the genetic constitution of the animal. But a particular substance may induce immune response in rabbit, whereas the same substance will not induce immune response in guinea pig. Similar is true for horse as well as in cow. Now, the next topic is the route of entry of immunogen. How do the immunogen entry into our body? There are 6 different routes, includes oral route, subcutaneous route, intramuscular route, intravenous route, respiratory route, and genitourinary route. For example, whenever um, entry through the oral route means it is enters through the mouth. When it is enters through the subcutaneous route, it is entering through the skin, either through the injury or through a injection. Intramuscular route injected into the muscle, intravenous injected directly into the veins, respiratory route inhaled directly through the respiratory system, and genitourinary tract means through urinary tract or genital tract. Now, it has been found that whenever a microbes enters through the gut mucosa, means oral route, then there will be a fast production of IgA type of antibody. But if the same microbes means same immunogen, if it is enters through the skin, then it will lead to the production of IgG, immunoglobulin G. Now, there are certain definition is required to learn the subject. Immune systems means cells, tissues, organs, and molecules that mediate the resistance to infection. Immunology, the study of the structure and function of the immune system. Immunity, resistance against a infection or resistance of the host to a infection or pathogen and their toxicity. Immune response, collective and coordinated response to the introduction of foreign substances in an individual mediated by the cells and molecules of the immune system. Now, what is the function of the immune system? Defense against the microbes, defense against the growth of tumor cells, kills the growth tumor cells. Homeostasis means destruction of abnormal or dead cell. The dead red or white blood cells, antigen antibody complex, etc., will be make uh, destructed by the immune system cells. Now, there is another term, immunoadjuvants. Adjuvants, the term is being applied when it is added. These, these adjuvants are generally being applied in case of vaccine to get more immune response. So, previously we have discussed about the dose of the immunogen. This dose is have to be fixed. So, the lower dose and the higher dose. Lower dose will not evoke any immune response, and higher dose will create tolerance. So, in between these two doses, a comparatively lesser and dose is required where the immune response will be very much fine, and these will be adjusted by applying certain other chemical or certain other material to enhance or to activate the immune response. So, actually, the adjuvants are stimulating or potentiating or enhancing or activating the immune response either at the cellular level or at the humoral level. Now, there are two type of immune immunoadjuvants. First one is the exogenous. It includes Freud adjuvant, Bacillus calamity guerin, BCG, Corynebacterium parvum, and all the bacterial antigens. Endogenous adjuvants include histamine, interleukin 1, tuftsin, transfer factor, and interferon. The mode of action is not specific, but it results in increased immune response to a variety of antigen or group of antigen. Now, whenever we will consider the action of immunoadjuvants, means you are adding immunogen with a particular thing, and it will evoke more amount of immune response, because if we add adjuvants with the immunogenic substances, then there will be a suitable enhancement of immune response. Now, this is due to the following cause. Now, adjuvant acts as a depot where from the infection will spread or where from the antigen will spread. So the how adjuvant works, the first one is that adjuvant acts as a depository structure where from the antigen will release. Certain times, certain cases, adjuvant associated with some cytokines and chemokines. These cytokines and chemokine will call those immune cells at the site of infection. Means they have the capability to recruit immune cells by secreting cytokines and chemokines. The third one is the some T cell receptor and B cell receptor will become activated. Uh, it also activate or encourage the antigen presenting cells which will be presented here as a APC. It will activate and recruit the APC for the purpose of immune sensitization, and it also increase the capacity to antigen presentation and processing. So antigen processing and presentation would be done by antigen presenting cell, for example, dendritic cells, macrophage, etc. If adjuvant is present, then automatically it will be more active in processing and presenting of the antigen presenting cell. Now, this mature or know the antigen presenting cells which knows what type of immunogen has been processed, then it migrate to the lymph node to interact with the specific B cells and T cells. These will activate the B cells or T cells for particular antibody production or any other T cell response. Here it has been figured out the how they are working. Now, immunostimulant. The immunostimulant is a agent with boosting the cellular or humoral immune response. These immunostimulant include vaccine. This vaccine acts as an immunostimulant. Now, there are also some immunostimulant present within our body, or it may uh, come from outside. For example, allergy is an immunostimulant. Autoimmunity, immunodeficiency, and cancer. The immunocompromised condition means where primary and secondary immunodeficiency is there. The primary immunodeficiency and secondary immunodeficiency will be demarcated on the basis of whether this condition is genetic or developmental, or in case of secondary, it is due to unfunctional non-functioning of the immune system or loss of the function of the immune system. These includes, for example, if AIDS being infected, then secondary immunodeficiency will be observed. If um, a disease is being severe combined immunodeficiency SCID is being observed, then automatically there will be a immunodeficiency. But the difference between these two type of immunodeficiency is the one is primary immunodeficiency, another is secondary immunodeficiency. Primary immunodeficiency is genetical or developmental. On the other hand, the secondary immunodeficiency is the loss of immune function, etc., or non-functioning. Now, Immunosuppression. Immunosuppression is a suppressing action of the immune system. One is deliberate. For example, whenever a person is under uh, organ transplantation, kidney transplantation, or any other transplantation, then deliberate means knowingly we are adding some immunosuppressive agent, or it is called induced immunosuppressive. For example, bone marrow transplantation, organ transplantation, autoimmune disease like rheumatoid arthritis, Graves' disease, etc. In this case, the previously cortisone is being applied, but nowadays a cyclosporine, a comparatively better drug, is being developed, that is cyclosporine, which is being used for the transplantation of kidney, liver, heart, etc. Other than this, tacrolimus and sirolimus antibiotics are also used in transplantation and graft rejection. Now, non-deliberate. Non-deliberate immunosuppression is due to aging, malnutrition, cancer, or chronic infection like HIV. This is unwanted. Unwanted is non-deliberate, and this immunosuppression led to increase in susceptibility to various pathogens like virus, bacteria, and protozoa attack. Now, in immune system, the following organ will work: organ, cells, and molecules. In organs, thymus, lymph node, spleen, Peyer's patches, appendix, lymphatic vessels, bone marrow, and tonsil and adenoids. Here, two organs are being differentiated: primary organ and secondary organ. The primary organ is the that is like primary school, where they are originated and taking the primary lesson. For example, bone marrow and thymus is the primary. The bone marrow is the place where B lymphocyte, and the thymus is the place where T lymphocyte will take its primary lesson. On the other hand, other than this bone marrow and thymus, lymph nodes, spleen, Peyer's patches, appendix, tonsils, and adenoids are the secondary lymphoid organ. Now, regarding the cells, the cells include lymphocyte, T lymphocyte, and natural killer lymphocyte. The second one is the monocyte and macrophages. The third one is the granulocytes, includes having the granules, means nucleus and granules are being observed, neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. And the molecules involved are antibodies, complement, cytokines, interleukin, and interferons. These are the chemical molecules involved in immune system. So immune system, whenever work, these following structure have to be there, like primary lymphoid organ, secondary lymphoid organ. Some cells should be there: lymphocyte, macrophage, monocyte, granulocyte, and some chemical will be secreted by them. That includes antibody, interleukin, cytokines, interferons, and complement. Now, there are two types of immunity. One is innate or non-adaptive, another is acquired or adaptive. Means after infection, whatever the immune system shows is the adaptive immunity or acquired immunity, and before infection, which prevents the infection, is the innate immunity. Means innate immunity shows first line of immune response or first defense, where the antigen will be antigen or immunogen will be prevented. So before infection, this is present, like our skin. From eye, lysosomal eye, the water what is arise from our eye is having the lysosome which will infect. For example, in our digestive system, the pH is low, so it will deactivate the bacteria, whatever it enters into our system, except one or two bacteria. Now, the second line of defense is the acquired, means after it uh, infection, it will act. That is the most important. And these will be handled by B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. And it requires antigenic determinant. And after infection, it will work. So, this is the acquired or adaptive immunity. Okay, this is all about today's lecture.